Yeah, one of the things I've learned was people used to say, well, I want to be with somebody that makes me happy. And what I've learned was if you're happy and then you find someone else who's also happy, then when you get together, you just share that happiness with one another. But if you're trying to find someone to fill that gap or that emptiness inside, because you're unhappy, only God can fill that gap.
Exactly.
That hole. And so it sounds like maybe you had, a hole or something that was unhappy within you. And once you worked on yourself and worked through that, then you were able to come together with your wife in a different way, in a better way.
Yeah, exactly. Because the time I didn't know God.
Yeah. Oh. I'm glad you're bringing him up.
Yeah.
Because I know you're also very involved in the church. And, I went through some storms like you did. And good fortune came my way because I was on the other side of it. That relationship didn't work out. And
which was a blessing.
That's why I say good fortune came my way, which God bless her and God bless, all of that. But it was the faith in the Lord that kept me grounded, and it allowed me to surrender, to just put all my trust into him. And, one of the things I remember reading was putting God first in the middle of the marriage to have unilateral love. So it's unilateral. You both love the Lord. Maybe the way you love the Lord is different from the way she loves the Lord, but there's a balance versus you loving her and she loves you, or vice versa, parallel love. And then there's a disbalance, because that's where it kind of gets a little tricky, as in I love her more than she loves me. And then there's that disbalance. Again, at the end of the day, it's all context on what you're making up even about that conversation. And what you've made up about the conversations of my mom was this, my dad was that, abandonment issues. You created a conversation that, as you got older, didn't empower you. And there you go. They say that history doesn't repeat itself, but it sure seems to rhyme. And you were probably emulating a lot of what you saw growing up. And the wonderful part is, I would say, is you had access of awareness. And that's where that coach came in.
Yeah.
That mentor said, hey, you're unhealthy. And you're like, wait a sec, what do you mean I'm unhealthy?
Yeah.
And he put a mirror in front of you and he said, yes, here's where you're unhealthy. And you were able to start seeing your blind spots, and you started being able to, let's just say, invent a whole new conversation of what it meant to be in a relationship, what love was, what women were, where kids were. And you started taking action on that new conversation. Let's call it the context, or a whole new mindset, people call it. And along the way, you re-enrolled your wife that, hey, Erik is loving, is caring, is an honest guy. But it took you enrolling her. And how do you know that you enrolled her? Well, your results. The results tell you who you're being in the relationship. But yeah, taking it back to the Lord, how have you incorporated the Lord into your coaching? Is that part of, like, an AA 12 steps? Number one is what?
Yeah, surrender, put God first, your higher power, they call it.
Yeah.
AA started off as Christians, but it kind of got tainted over the years.
Yeah.
Now they say higher power, but we know it's Jesus is the savior, right?
Amen.
When I met my wife, I didn't know God. I thought it was just a bearded dude in the sky.
So going into the relationship, zero relationship with the Lord.
Zero.
He's
How
just
about your wife? Was your wife, did she have a relationship with God?
Yeah, she was a good Catholic girl, from my understanding.
She grew up in a Christian church. Yeah, very, very strict.
Wasn't her mom very into Catholic?
No, Christian. They were Angelic, I think it was called. Evangelist. Yeah, evangelist or something like that. Yeah, but they were really, really heavy into the church. She grew up really heavy.
Okay.
When I met my wife, I don't think that she was very, like, I think she might have derailed a little bit. Yeah. What do you call it? Backslid. And so we were partying. When we met, we did nothing but partying, we were doing
How'd you guys meet?
That's a crazy story.
I want to hear it.
We actually met through my ex-girlfriend, dude.
Yeah.
Weird story. Me and my ex-girlfriend, we broke up and we stayed friends for 10 years. And I was living in Florida at the time, doing really well. We had flown in on a private jet. And I called her up because she was living in LA at the time. And I said, hey,
You called up your wife.
my ex-girlfriend. I didn't know my wife at the time.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, hey, bring out all your hot friends. I'm coming in. Because we were friends,
Yeah.
we were over it.
Yeah.
We were over
10
it.
years.
Yeah, 10 years. We were over it.
Years again.
And so she brought Myra. She brought my current wife.
Yeah.
And we hit it off there. But Myra was dating somebody at the time. So we kind of stayed friends on Facebook for, I think, 4 to 5 years. It was a while.
All right.
And then I moved back to the West Coast from Florida. And I lived in Vegas.
Now, if you had MySpace, you would be poking her.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It was Facebook at the time.
So you were just liking her.
Yeah.
But if it was MySpace, it would be poking her.
Exactly, yeah.
You remember MySpace?
You do poke on Facebook.
Not that much, but it doesn't sound right.
No, MySpace, you used to be able to poke them.
Yeah.
And you had one friend. And
Uh-huh.
that friend was
Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah, you're right.
Guys.
You're right.
Tom was her only friend.
So true. I remember that now.
And then you would poke them. Like, if you liked them, you poke them. And Facebook turned into like.
Oh, okay.
Like, but anyways.
All right. Well,
He's been out of that. But it was Facebook at the time, though. And
Kept in
I
relationship.
had moved to Vegas. And then
So from Florida, you moved to Vegas.
to Vegas. And then we were friends. And then I called her and her friend out to come hang out in Vegas. And they came out and we hit it off. And what's funny is that I was such a player at the time, just because I just was that guy, and I had told her I would never get married, didn't believe in marriage. But that night we were in the club drinking, and I whispered in her friend's ear, I said, I'm going to marry your friend. And 5 years later, we got married.
wow.
Yeah.
You just knew.
I just knew. I don't know what it was. Weird. She got me, man.
Now, even though you knew, you were still not being in integrity in those
No.
4 years.
Yeah, no, I was, yeah.
You started off on let's just say a foundation that maybe wasn't sustainable.
No, absolutely not. That's kind of what we were talking about earlier. It's
Yeah.
like, it was almost like I was.
Now, was she able to like
Mhm.
see it coming, or were you that good of a?
She didn't want to date me because I was such a player, and she knew about me. She's like, I'm not touching him with a 10-foot pole. But her friend at the time, she was like, I'll take him if you don't want him. And that triggered something in my wife's brain, like, wait, no, I want him. Like, and so she gave me a shot, right? Because I was very, very aggressive with her. I knew what I wanted.
What was it for you?
I wanted her. I just was very adamant about, like, this is the girl I want.
Was it ego?
She was
was it ego, or you just wanted?
No, I just wanted her. I just knew that this was the girl I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. I had to have her. And so she was dating a guy at the time.
Yeah.
We were in the car. I'll never forget it to this day. I took her phone that she was going back and forth with the guy. She was dating a guy at the time, was like a really, really rich producer in LA. And they were dating, going back and forth. And she's like, I just want to end it, but I don't know because I'm confused. And so I took her phone and I text the guy, it's done. It's over. I'm moving on. And that was it. From that day on, I claimed it. And
Yeah, the part that I don't understand, though, you knew you wanted her, you claimed it, you got it, but then you were an asshole.
yeah.
What were you making up during that time?
Well, I was unhealthy.
You were unhealthy.
Yeah.
So once you conquered it, once you got it, were you married already at this point?
No, this is when we were just starting to date.
Yeah. Were you being honest during that time?
No, absolutely not.
So from the get-go,
yeah.
the foundation was set on
A little bit. I mean, every relationship's great. You're
Yeah.
on your best behavior, but then when it starts getting a little,
When did she find out that you were being a total a-hole?
well, she would catch me talking to girls, and girls were sending me stuff on Instagram.
So she has a responsible side.
Yeah, she does.
She allowed it.
Yeah.
She allowed it.
Yeah.
Now, has she resolved?
Well, she fell in love with me, so she trusted me,
Yeah.
and when a girl falls in love, it's like, okay, well, he's in it too, so they don't think. She was unhealthy at the time too. We were both unhealthy, so she couldn't see and I couldn't see. It's like two people with a blindfold on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was just destruction. It's almost like I always tell people in the beginning, it's like your marriage was doomed before it even started.
Yeah.
Because most people aren't healed and don't do the work before they get married.
Yeah. You guys were building a house on quicksand in the summer.
Yeah. And that's every marriage, man. That's every relationship, really, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of times people go into relationships, they don't realize that there's work involved in
Yeah.
your relationship. It's not always going to be fun. It's not always going to be rainbows and sunshine. At what point did you come to the reality with Myra, your wife, that you had some work to do? And, obviously it was good for a while, but at some point, what shifted for you?
Well, I got tired of the drinking, right? Because the hangovers and the destruction I was going through, and I was always a a drink away from a DUI or a night out from another DUI.
Uh-huh.
I had my license suspended for 5 years in Florida. I couldn't drive for 5 years. That's how bad it was. And I was driving on a suspended license. And so all these years of all this destruction, I just got tired,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and hit rock bottom. And when she said, I'm done with you, it's over, that'll shake a man, right?
It was after you were married.
This is after we're married. Yeah.
You have kids at this moment?
Yeah, we have one.
No, I'm saying at this moment.
No, this is right when we're dating. Just me and my are dating.
No, but when she says,
Oh, this is when we're married. Yeah.
is there a kid involved yet?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, so you had a kid, and now she's like, I'm sick and tired.
It changes the dynamic. I mean, if you have a kid, I mean, thank God, 2009, I had no kids.
Yeah.
God forbid if I had kids, it would have changed the whole dynamic. And I feel for the peeps that are going through, you know, let's just call it a storm in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's gray. I mean, and then ego comes a lot to play with him.
Mm-hmm.
And at that moment, you could really create a disempowering conversation.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I wanted a relationship. I had a vision. My parents are still married
Mm-hmm.
to this day. So I had this fundamental understanding of what a marriage should be. Yet over here, I created a conversation of women are, finish the sentence, finish it.
Number one.
Okay, well, yeah. Women are,
Beautiful.
yeah, like, come on. What's the first thing that comes? Women
Emotional?
are? Emotional. What else? Women are? Yeah, you thought of that B word.
I did not think of the B word.
Oh, man. I created a conversation at that moment when I was going through that breakup that women are every negative word in the dictionary.
Oh,
Why?
B word.
Yeah, the B word. Or, you know, whatever else you manipulators, B word. I created that conversation. So here I am. My relationship's over. And I know I wanted to have a loving, caring, kind relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yet my unconscious conversation that I was having with myself was women are
Like
everything negative in the dictionary.
Or naggers. Or
Yeah, all the negative stuff in the so here comes women. No matter if I had, you know, Princess Charming in front of me, what was going to show up was more of the same because I was still in the same context.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't also until I got involved heavily into coaching, where a mirror was put up, and of course I got involved with church, and surrendering, that I was able to reinvent, or let's just call it invent, a whole new conversation of what women were.
Mm-hmm.
And when I shifted what women were to me, loving, caring, kind, I said, who do I get to be to source or enroll or attract that woman? I needed to be loving, caring, kind, considerate. So I started practicing on my ways of being. And, you know, 2-3 years later, I meet my wife, Angie, and, you know, I have literally a diary during that storm that I wrote of what I wanted in a woman. And my wife saw it after the fact, and it's everything that my wife is. Like literally about 300 things of how intentional what I was looking for in a woman. Now, there's no such thing as a perfect woman. There's close to being a perfect woman.
Her name is Angie.
And her name is Angie.
Myra.
Angie and Myra.
Laura.
Yeah.
But anyhow, it wasn't until I shifted who I said I was and who I said women were.